You've tried every habit app, tracker, and color-coded bullet journal under the sun.
You even bought that fancy one with the gold spirals that promise to change your life.
But somehow you still feel like you're working hard and not seeing any real progress.
That's because most tracking tools make you feel productive without actually moving you forward.
They reward checking boxes, not building momentum.
Today, we're going beyond habit apps and bullet journals to show you how to measure progress in a way that's scientifically proven to work, and how your Type A 90-day planner fits into this equation.
Let's start with the truth. Type A women love systems.
We love tracking, measuring, analyzing, until the tracking becomes another full-time job.
Exactly. The problem isn't the system, it's the psychology behind it.
Most habit apps and bullet journals are dopamine traps. They give you a chemical hit when you record a behavior, not when you complete a meaningful goal.
So your brain starts chasing check marks instead of results.
Research from Harvard Business School shows that false progress, like logging data without context, gives temporary satisfaction but leads to long-term discouragement.
And then, because Type A women hate inconsistency, the minute we miss a day,
we scrap the whole system and start over with a new app.
it's not failure, it's just feedback overload.
Let's talk about what actually keeps progress alive: science.
Here we go.
A Harvard study proved that small wins, visible progress towards meaningful goals, are the #1 driver of long-term motivation.
Not big wins, not streaks, small, visible wins.
Exactly. Every time your brain recognizes a clear step forward, it releases dopamine, which reinforces the behavior and builds momentum.
So if your tracker doesn't show meaningful progress, only pretty patterns, your brain loses interest.
This is why the Type A 90-day planner uses weekly reflection and measurable milestones. It keeps your brain reward system firing consistently.
Which means it's not just a planner, it's a feedback machine.
Here's what makes tracking even trickier for Type A women. We love data, but we hate imperfection.
We treat every missed day like a moral failure.
Exactly. You skip one habit and suddenly you're convinced that the whole plan has been ruined.
It's the all or nothing mindset.
And neurologically, that mindset increases cortisol, your stress hormone, and shuts down the prefrontal cortex, which controls planning and focus.
So your brain literally stops wanting to track.
Yep, progress tracking should be a mirror, not a report card.
It's not about being perfect, it's about staying aware.
Let's get nerdy for a second.
We weren't already.
Your brain's reticular activating system, or RAS, filters what you notice. When you define a goal, your RAS starts scanning for related information.
That's why once you set a goal, you suddenly see reminders of it everywhere.
Tracking progress strengthens that filter. It tells your brain, this matters. But when you try to track too many goals or habits, your RAS gets overloaded.
So instead of sharpening your focus, tracking everything actually blurs it.
The sweet spot is 3 to 5 active goals or metrics. Anything more and cognitive load kicks in.
That's why your 90-day planner is designed around threes. 3 quarterly goals, 3 weekly focuses, 3 daily priorities.
Because your brain loves pattern consistency, and progress thrives on clarity.
Okay, so logic matters, but here's the part we forget. Emotion drives the logic home.
True, you can measure all the numbers in the world, but if you don't feel them, you'll lose steam.
Psychologist Dr. Barbara Fredrickson's research on positive emotion shows that gratitude and reflection expand attention and increase resilience.
That's why each week in the planner, there's a celebrate 3 wins and 1 lesson section. It merges dopamine, the data, with serotonin, satisfaction.
And the reflect and refocus section is a built-in mindfulness reset, because progress isn't just forward motion, it's emotional recovery.
And that's our favorite balance. Woo-woo meets measurable.
And meditation with metrics.
Here's exactly how to use your planner to implement the framework.
Finally, the step-by-step.
Start with your 3 quarterly goals. Then use the weekly pages to track 2 to 3 quantitative metrics per goal. something like revenue, consistency, or conversion rate.
Next, use the reflection section for qualitative data: energy, focus, mindset. Ask yourself, what gave me momentum this week?
Then, in your daily spread, track your top 3 actions. No more than 3. Remember, cognitive load.
And at the end of the week, pause for 60 seconds of breathing. 2 slow inhales, 1 long exhale to reset your nervous system before you review your progress. That's not fluff, it's brain regulation.
And it ensures you don't review your progress through stress-colored glasses.
Let's talk about what not to do.
Don't turn tracking into data hoarding. More numbers don't always mean more insight.
Pick 3 core metrics per goal. That's it.
And if you miss a week, it's data, not drama. Your progress didn't vanish, it just paused.
Exactly. Think of tracking like a GPS. If you miss a turn, it doesn't delete your destination, it just reroutes you.
And sometimes the reroute teaches you something the original route never could.
All right, so let's run through how each type A archetype handles tracking and where they get stuck.
The hustler tracks everything, color codes it, lives for metrics until burnout hits. The fix, simplify. 3 metrics, not 30.
Now our overplanner, who spends hours designing a system instead of using it. Your fix is to schedule reflection time on the calendar before building the spreadsheet.
The avoider avoids tracking because numbers feel like judgment. The fix equals tracking effort, not outcome, for the first month. Build confidence before building the performance metrics.
Every archetype can make progress once you stop using tracking as punishment and start using it as proof. You don't need another app to tell you you're behind.
You need a system that shows you where your effort is actually working.
Because progress isn't supposed to feel like pressure. It's supposed to feel like proof.
The Type A 90-Day Planner was built for women like you. Logical, driven, and just woo-woo enough to believe in balance.
It's structure with soul, science with sanity.
So if you're ready to stop tracking everything and start measuring what really matters, get your planner and take the Type A quiz today.
Because the way you measure progress should match the way you're wired.